Hey, yo, what up, slackers? Today we're gonna continue our story of Dragon Ball into episode number 4 now. But before we begin, today there's a lot that has happened in the news. There are riots breaking out in the capital, in the nation's capital. People are breaking into Congress and all that shit. And this stuff is just crazy. Like, a lot has happened in this country over the past year in 2020, and it continues into 2021. These are like things that are unthink of in the previous decade or in the previous 20, 25 years, but now it's all happening now in front of our eyes. Sometimes it makes me wonder whether we're still the envy of the world, like America, kind of like the only superpower of the world. And are we really losing it? Are we losing our mind? And I think a lot of it has to do with the kind of bad leadership that we have in our government and our politicians. We should be, as people, we should be electing smart and righteous people into our government as our leaders. But yeah, just over the past many years, it's not just like in the past 4, 8, or whatever. I like the government that we have elected are not so, their political wisdom and also their overall wisdom is just not that great. And if we keep electing idiots into office, we're not gonna end up somewhere good. So I think in the next 10 years, it's going to be really crucial for us to turn things around for this great country of ours and to be able to save ourselves from a path of decline. And yeah, it's next 10 years. I'm putting it out there, and it's important. So yeah, we need some smarter politicians. Not only smarter, but, do the right things and have the wisdom and the leadership to lead our country out of this current predicament and the divided country and the bad situation that we're in. Yeah, we're putting our hopes on you, but yeah, personally, I wouldn't bank on it. Okay. Back to today's episode, but before that, today's big words and vocabs. The first one it's easy. It's like, what the beep? Yeah, so that beep sound is called a bleep. So, what the F word, right? What the, and yeah, so the bleep just means a sharp sound, like a short, sharp sound, that covers the F-U-C-K, that is supposed to be, not, what do you call it? Yeah, not, broadcastable on TV. So that just is a very, very common expression, and you use a bleep to mask that last word of that phrase. Number 2, discreet. This is a cool word because discreet means to be careful, but not just careful. It's rather trying to proceed carefully. So, it's about using your judgment and to act accordingly. That's called discreet. I'll give you an example of that. Let me see. Yeah, maybe I can give you an example right now. So, if you have 2 friends who's got the relationship between those 2 has gotten sour, and you're kind of in between, you're kind of caught in between them on trying to manage that friendship or those 2 friendships, you need to be discreet on how you talk to both of them. The third one is validation. Validation just means some external source that proves that you're right. So yeah, if I guess if someone says, if you're trying to prove to someone that you know something, let's say like you just threw out a big anecdote or a big statement like yeah, I think the stock market's gonna go down no, it's gonna go up 5,000 points today. And a minute later, MSNBC or is it MSNBC or CNBC? It's MSNBC or Yahoo Finance says the same and makes the same prediction, and that is going to be your validation because you said it, and they are only validating your point. Or if, let's say, if a kid says, like, I'm the best ball player on the team, and then his coach says the same thing. Yeah, this kid's got some talent at playing ball. Then he's got validation from his coach. So that's what validation means. The last one is a phrase. It says it's the most, and then fill in an adjective of things. Things here, fill in any noun. So let me give you an example. It's the most bizarre of situations. It's kind of like a long way of saying it's a bizarre situation. You just say it's the most bizarre of situations. You emphasize how bizarre it is. It's the most cruel of treatments, as opposed to it's the most cruel, or it's the most cruel treatment. You say it's the most cruel of treatments. You kind of emphasize that. Or it's the most brilliant of ideas. Just trying to emphasize how brilliant that idea is instead of saying it's the most brilliant idea. Okay? Alright. Now we're going to restart our journey on Dragon Ball on episode number 4. So last time in episode number 3, we saw that Bulma finally got her, is it 4th? Yeah, I think that's her 4th Dragon Ball from Master Roshi. Yeah, that's right. And Bulma pulled off one of the most memorable scenes in the history of anime and manga, no pun intended, by showing her beaver, coochie, whatever you like to say, to Master Roshi, because she didn't know that that morning Goku has taken off her panties or her underwear when she was asleep. And yeah, so that was the kind of R-rated content, the beginning of the R-rated content here in Dragon Ball. And yeah, so they would then continue their hunt for the next, how many are they missing? So they got 4 Dragon Balls for the remaining 3. And so this episode began when so Bulma was basically racing with Goku. So Goku has gotten, from the last episode, Goku has also gotten the flying Nimbus. It's a Nimbus cloud as his ride, and as his personal ride, because really no one else can ride it. Because in order to get on it, you need to have a pure heart, and Goku certainly does. So Goku was on his Nimbus cloud, and Bulma was on her motorcycle. Yeah, she's real cool. She's got a lot of cool gadgets, that's for sure. And she actually fell off her motorcycle and dropped one of her Dragon Balls as she was rolling down a hill. And yeah, but then they both saw that the Dragon Ball that was dropped began to glow. I guess Dragon Ball itself is kind of also like a Dragon Ball radar. It can sense if there are other Dragon Balls nearby, and if there is, then it starts to glow. So then they know there's a Dragon Ball nearby, and then they started some investigation. And they found this village called Aru Village. And when they went to check it out, it was all empty. All the houses are empty. It wasn't really like houses, but it was more like teepee style tents. But nobody was there, and Bulma, she just thought, okay, so it's an abandoned village. But Goku, he's got this uncanny. Is it uncanny or is it canny? Uncanny sense, sharp sense, sixth sense. It's almost like yeah, it's like a sixth sense that is so accurate. He thinks there's people there. So yeah, as he walked into, or as he was trying to walk into a house, he found that the door is locked, and this house belongs to the Sherman priest. And he punches the door open, and then an axe came down and fell on his head. But of course, Goku being Goku, it only gave him a small lump on the head. So that didn't hurt him at all. Damn, it's an axe. Oh yeah, here. Goku is like, what the bleep? Right? Um, so he pretty much, yeah. No, actually, Goku, he would never say what the, because yeah, he's just too cool. But you get the idea. As you see something something unexpected and not so pleasant coming at you, that's what you say. Okay, and make sure you bleep it out, especially if you have young children within talking distance, so they don't hear you cussing. Um, yeah, and then there was the Sherman priest, and he tells, he asked Goku. He saw Goku standing there, and he asked him not to take his daughter away from him. And Goku then realized that they're actually expecting someone, and he was not the person that they were expecting. And then the priest tells Goku and Bulma that there has been a shift-shifting monster. His name is Oolong, and he's been taking villagers' daughters and basically kidnapping them and taking them away. And he was trying to not let him. And his next target was the Sherman priest's daughter, Pocahontas. Pocahontas, yeah, and yeah, and yeah, that's what they thought Goku was when he kicked the door open, and then Bulma and Goku they asked the villagers, have they ever seen a Dragon Ball, and they took out their Dragon Balls to show them what it looks like. Then there's this Grandma Paozu, just an old lady, and she shows Bulma a Dragon Ball that she keeps, and it's a 6-star Dragon Ball. Goku asked her, "Can I have it?" And of course she said no, because it was a legacy item that's been passed down from generations from people in the village, and Goku and Bulma, Goku here, he offered to defeat Oolong and to free the kidnapped daughters of the villagers in exchange for that Dragon Ball as a prize. And yeah, and the villagers agreed. So, but the problem is they told him that it's going to be very much impossible to defeat Oolong because he can transform into many different shapes. So, yeah, then Goku said, no problem. Yeah, don't you ever doubt the ability of Goku. Yeah, no, he basically, yeah, so they basically want to try to set up Oolong by Goku dressing up as the priest's daughter, Pocahontas, and he was standing there, he was wearing her clothes, covering his face and his hair with like a cloth that he wore on his head, over his head, and he's waiting outside the village. Then Oolong shows up in the form of a big red devil in a tuxedo, and he also has flowers with him. He asked the Pocahontas, or here in this case that's Goku. He asked Goku to marry him, and Goku here cannot say anything because Here's a perfect place to insert one because he had to be discreet when he was disguising as the little girl, and um, and that's how you use discreet. Gotta be discreet when you're trying to pretend you're to be something that you're not. And yeah, but the the only thing that is going through Goku's mind actually at the moment, not only trying to be discreet, but he was trying to hold in his pee. He really needed to go, and yeah, so Oolong didn't get a response from Pocahontas, so he transformed himself into a handsome guy, a Brad Pitt, David Beckham looking dude, and then Bulma, you know, longing for a handsome boyfriend, she immediately fell for this transformed man that Oolong has taken shape of, and then she basically threw herself at Oolong, and Oolong he also immediately had a crush on Bulma, and he's trying to debate with himself whether he should take Bulma or he should take Pocahontas or Goku in disguise. So, and as he was like, kind of doing this debate, this inner debate, Goku can't hold it in anymore, and he pulls down his pants and just peed as a kid, standing up as a boy. Then Oolong's like, "What the beep?" Right? So that's an awesome place to use it, and that's much more appropriate. Oolong was like, "What the beep?" And he's like, "Are you trying to trick me? Come on, that ain't cool." Then he started running away, and he knew that was a trap, so he ran. He took off, and Goku went after him. And as he ran outside of the gates of the village, he didn't see where Oolong has gone to. The only thing he saw, or the only person he saw, was a little pig, a tiny little pig. And he asked the pig, has he seen Oolong? And the pig told him, yeah, Oolong has went to the other side of town, and Goku takes off after him toward that direction. And then, after Goku disappeared, the little pig actually revealed himself in his true form as Oolong. So that's who Oolong is. And now I'm gonna insert the idiom. In the most unlikely of situations, Oolong's true form was a little cute pig. In the most bizarre of scenarios, Oolong seemed so harmless in his true native form. And he confessed to himself, kind of in a monologue, that he learned his ability to transform into a different shape by going to shape-shifting school. But the catch there is that for each transformation, he can only make it last 5 minutes, and no longer than that, and he would transform back after the time expires. He also explains that the reason that he's been terrorizing the village and kidnapping people's daughter was because growing up, he has been constantly cold-shouldered and just not being liked by girls, and they have dumped him regularly, and he's been so frustrated, and he needed some girlfriends, multiple girlfriends. Well, as a guy, I really can't blame him. So who doesn't want multiple girlfriends? Maybe minus the emotional part, the emotional connection part, and the energy expenditure into those relationships. But yeah, in terms of having intimacy and just having a variety of girls at your selection, oh yeah, Who wouldn't? Yeah, that's I think I'm representing how a typical guy would like to have it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So fuck you if you don't agree with me, and if you're a guy, okay, a straight guy. Um, then Goku comes back, and he asks the pig again, "Where's Oolong?" Because he couldn't find him, and Oolong now transforms into a giant ninja with with a giant chopstick, a giant pair of chopsticks, and a giant bowl of soup. He told Goku, he better run away now because he's gonna eat him alive and put him into his bowl of soup. Goku said, "Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, don't you ever think that you can bully me like that." So, yeah, as Oolong was doing that, yeah, so he asked Goku. So some kid was like throwing a rock at him from behind, and he's like, "Huh, what?" He's like, "Yeah, what? Like, what? Who's doing that?" Or he was saying again, actually, "What the beep?" And um, he got distracted, and then Goku, he turns his attention back to Goku, and he asks Goku, "Why do you think you stand a chance against me? I'm such a scary monster who can transform into many different things." And this is all in the form of that giant ninja. Um, yeah, so Goku is like, "I'm not afraid of you because I've learned martial arts from my grandpa, Gohan." And and then yeah, and then here's cool because then Oolong challenges Goku. "Can you show me how good you are?" And Goku breaks like a pile of 3 bricks with just the point of a finger. And as Goku was trying to show off his martial arts, Oolong just takes off again, and he turns into a bat, just tries to fly away. But don't forget, Goku's got a Nimbus Cloud, and he basically pursues Oolong, and then Oolong transforms into another object. This time, a rocket. Yeah, he must be a Houston basketball fan. And this time, Goku, but you know, yeah, Goku's not gonna be let down easy. So, his Nimbus Cloud can also pick up some speed, and yeah, to just be right behind that rocket. And then Oolong, after 5 minutes, runs out of steam because he returns to his normal form, and he falls to the ground. Then Goku caught him as in his native shape of this little pig and takes him back to the village. So Oolong then, although reluctantly, had to apologize to the villagers, and he took all the villagers back to his home, or to his shack, he calls it, to return the missing girls back to them. And actually, his shack turns out to be a giant mansion, and the 3 girls, the 3 daughters of the villagers that he has kidnapped, they're called Sarah, Alexi, and Little Flower. How cute. They've actually have been living a great, luxurious life, and they've been making demands and asking Oolong to buy them stuff. So, yeah, and Oolong has obliged to all of their demands. And yeah, basically they've been spoiled by Oolong, and Oolong asked the villagers, "Please take them back, because I can't take this shit no more." And yeah, with that, Goku and Bulma really took care of the Oolong problem for the village, and therefore the old grandma Paozu, she gave Goku and Bulma her 6-star Dragon Ball as a reward for helping the village and its people. And that is the end of Dragon Ball Episode 4. So let's see, what else have we not gotten to? Oh, validation. Okay. Validation here. We can use Oolong as an example. So Oolong, the reason that he learned to transform into different shapes was because he needed validation of who he is. He's not comfortable with himself being that little pig, as he has been dumped various times by many girls, because I guess they just didn't like him, and he needed validation from his looks or from someone else's looks. So he needed to transform into all these scary looking monsters, or good looking dude, or a powerful object, or powerful ninja, to I guess hype up his market value. So yeah, that's why he needed validation from an outside source. So don't do that, okay, guys? Be cool with who you are, and you don't need to transform into anybody or anything that you're not. Just, you don't need that validation. Okay? So yeah, that's my Dragon Ball episode 4 for today. And yeah, I hope everything gets back to normal after today, after what happened on Capitol Hill today and all the riots, which is like really unprecedented and just, yeah, outrageous. So guys, let's try to let's try to, yeah, just get back to normal and get on with our lives.